A modestly dressed woman walked into an upscale restaurant in San Francisco, only to be met with judgmental looks from the staff. The receptionist gave her a condescending smile. Waiters exchanged whispers, and soft laughter filled the air as their eyes scanned her simple denim jacket. But the mockery came to an abrupt halt when a powerful figure stepped inside, her billionaire husband, and their smug expressions instantly turned to regret. Jessica Hayden brushed off her worn-out denim jacket as she casually wandered through San Francisco's financial district. At 35, she still valued comfort over designer fashion, even though she had access to the most exclusive fashion labels in the world. The crisp October breeze carried the salty scent of the Bay. Glancing at her watch, she saw there were still 2 hours until Nicholas would meet her. 5 years of marriage to one of the city's top financial moguls hadn't changed her humble Midwestern roots. Jessica walked into the elegant restaurant with quiet confidence, her steps steady, despite the judgment in the air. The chandelier sparkled above her, casting golden light over marble floors and velvet chairs. Conversations hushed for a moment as some patrons glanced her way, eyebrows raised at the sight of her faded jeans and scuffed sneakers. She approached the host stand, where a young receptionist in a crisp black uniform greeted her with an obviously forced smile. "Reservation?" the woman asked, her tone laced with disbelief. "Yes," Jessica replied warmly. "Under Nicholas Hayden." The receptionist blinked, the name clearly ringing a bell. But after a quick glance at Jessica's clothes, she assumed it was a coincidence. She tapped the screen and nodded mechanically. "Please wait here. We'll see if that reservation is valid." As Jessica stepped aside, 2 waiters nearby chuckled quietly, not bothering to hide their amusement. One of them whispered to the other, "Probably delivering something. No way she's a guest." Jessica heard it. She always did in places like this. But instead of reacting, she simply took a deep breath and looked around. People here wore tailored suits, sparkling jewelry, and designer shoes. She smiled to herself. She used to think places like this were meant for someone else. But now she knew better. She took out her phone and texted Nicholas. "Jessica, here a bit early, waiting by the front. Staff's already in top form." Just a minute later, the tall glass doors swung open. Silence fell. Heads turned. Nicholas Hayden, one of the city's most powerful financial figures, stepped into the restaurant. His presence alone commanded attention. Wearing a charcoal gray tailored suit and carrying himself like a man used to making billion-dollar decisions before lunch, he strode confidently toward the front. "Jess," he said, his face lighting up as he spotted her. "Hey," Jessica replied, grinning. Nicholas leaned down and kissed her cheek. The waiters froze. The receptionist's face turned pale. "You ready to eat?" he asked. "I've been ready, but apparently I was in disguise," she teased. He laughed and turned toward the stunned receptionist. "I believe we had a private table reserved." The receptionist scrambled. Yes, Mr. Hayden. Of course. Right this way." As they walked through the restaurant, a ripple of murmurs followed them. The same waiters who had snickered moments earlier now stood stiffly at attention, their expressions a mix of embarrassment and awe. They were led to a secluded table near the window, with a breathtaking view of the bay. The staff hurried over, their tone now overly polite. "May I bring you a drink, ma'am?" one asked, voice trembling slightly. Jessica nodded politely. "Water will be fine for now." Nicholas smirked. "You've got them terrified. They judged before they knew. It happens." He reached across the table and took her hand. Still doesn't make it right. I hate when people underestimate you. Jessica shrugged. I'm used to it. And honestly, it just makes moments like this more satisfying. The rest of the lunch unfolded with quiet elegance. Dishes came out beautifully plated, and the waiters now treated Jessica with the utmost care, trying to undo their earlier mistake. But Jessica remained her calm, graceful self. Not rude, not boastful, just real. As they finished dessert, Nicholas glanced around and leaned in. You know, he said, I still remember the first time I saw you. You were wearing that same denim jacket. Jessica laughed. It's my lucky one. Well, it brought me luck too, he replied softly. It brought me you,
he replied softly. It brought me you. As they got up to leave, Nicholas placed a generous tip on the table, far more than standard. On their way out, the receptionist tried to apologize, but Jessica simply gave her a small nod and a polite smile. Outside, the wind had picked up. Jessica zipped up her jacket and looked out over the bay. Still think I should have worn the heels? She asked playfully. Nicholas slipped his hand into hers. No, you were perfect, as always. And with that, the couple walked off into the crisp afternoon, leaving behind stunned stares, awkward silence, full of people who had just learned a powerful lesson. Never judge a person by their clothes, especially not the wife of a billionaire.